People often ask, where do I come up with these recipes? And I'm going to show you right now. I happen to have some leftover cocktail wieners that I wanted to use up. These things are already cooked, so you don't really need to cook them through. I just like to get a little color on them. So I got a cast iron pan, medium-high heat, sorry. I'm just tossing these kids around in a little bit of avocado oil to get some color. And this, I had an appetizer once, a long time ago at a party. And it was just simply cocktail wieners in a slow cooker with like a sweet and slightly spicy barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to try to duplicate that here in a cast iron pan. And we'll see how it goes. Making this up entirely as I go along. Now I got some decent color on these guys. I'm going to add the following. I'm going to start off with a big old glug of open pit barbecue sauce. Again, I'm not sponsored. This just happens to be the type that I use. I like the thinner, sweeter sauce. And the thinner, spicier sauce. And then I can do things myself to make it sweet. So, big old glug of open pit. I don't know, what is that, maybe 3 cups. Turn my heat down just below medium because I don't want the sauce to burn as I'm adding everything else. Got about just under a cup of light brown sugar and a decent amount of white sugar, maybe about a 1/4 cup. Like I said, I want this to be a sweet sauce. A couple glugs of Worcestershire sauce, maybe about 1/8 of a cup. A little hit of apple cider vinegar for a little bit of tang. Is that maybe a tablespoon? Some roasted garlic paste. That looks good. Dijon mustard, my favorite. Come on. Maybe 2 tablespoons of that kid. Good hit of some smoked paprika. Maybe 1.5 tablespoons. Maybe 2 tablespoons. For a little sweet and heat. I love this stuff. Again, not sponsored. You can find it online. It's chili infused honey, and it's absolutely delicious. So it's not super hot. I sometimes just put it on graham crackers or something. It's a good honey. It's got a nice little bite to it. So what does that look like? Maybe a 1.5 tablespoons. A little more sweet and heat. The General's Maple Mayhem. This is a habanero infused maple syrup. Go about 1/2 tablespoon there. This was a gift from my nephew when he came back from the Marines. I think you can find it online. A couple good cracks of pepper in there, and then this is my own blend of kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic powder, or SPG as we call it, salt, pepper. Stir all this together. And once I get it all together, I'll give it a taste and adjust for seasonings. Figure it out together here. Everything has been mixed together. I tasted it. It tastes delicious, but it still needs more sweetness. So another 1/2 cup or so of light brown and about the same amount of white sugar. And we'll mix that all in. I turned my heat down to almost low because it was starting to bubble up a little bit. So I'm going to stir this up and I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for about an hour or so. And I'll be back to let you know how it tastes. I decided to cover the thing and put it into a 225-degree oven. So that's where she's sitting right now. I'm going to check her every 15 minutes or so and give it a stir. With the burner, I was getting too many individual hot spots, and I didn't want my sauce to burn or anything bad to happen to it. It has been 1 hour. I've turned the oven up to 300. I've pulled the cover off, and I've got the kids sitting back in there. The idea here is just to let that sauce start to thicken up a little bit, which it already is. I gave it a taste. Flavor is phenomenal, so I'll come back in about half hour, 45 minutes. So that's it. It's been another 30 minutes or so. At 300 degrees, the sauce isn't quite as thick as I would like it. It's still a little on the thin and runny side, but the flavor is quite excellent. Give this one a shot here. Oh, very hot. Very delicious. Sweet, spicy, tangy, barbecue. There are some things that I could do different. You can obviously do this in a slow cooker, but this is how I just make up recipes as I go along. And over time, I may doctor this one up, and who knows, we may see this one a year or so down the line, even more improved. Thanks for watching. Don't eat boring food.